Yo, YouTube, what is up? Welcome back to the Radar for Wrestling Studios.
What up, Mark?
Guys, Monday Night Raw just finished up. We have one takeaway from another disastrous, dreadful show of Monday Night Raw. The streak continues going into the Royal Rumble of just terrible Monday Night Raws, nonsensical stuff going on, and sloppy stuff really going on. It's not really good. So we have the only thing to get into with the one takeaway. But we have some interesting news that we're going to share with you at the end of the episode and just give our opinion of some of the stuff you heard about WWE's network new situation with that. We have info on Brock Lesnar's return as according to Triple H, and we have a musical performance added to the Royal Rumble. So, some of the stuff you heard, but you get our opinion on it at the end of the video. So make sure you tune into the end of the video to hear that. So let's get into it. Before we do, I remind you guys, drop a like and a comment on this because it helps us out with the algorithm. Appreciate you guys commenting on the videos and conversating with us. It's good stuff. We'd like to hear what you guys have to say and your opinions and the back and forth. So we'd love for you guys to continue that. Hit the subscribe button if you're watching. Not subscribe to the channel, notification bell, you get alerted when new videos drop. So social medias, you know what it is: Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, all the same handles. Follow those. Let's get right into it. One takeaway from Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw started off with the return of Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre comes back after his time off due to being diagnosed with COVID. He said he was fine. He had minimal symptoms, loss of smell, stuff like that. So happy to hear him. Then after this, it's just him hyping up Goldberg for the rest of the promo until Miz and Morrison come interrupt. They badger him, and then Goldberg makes his appearance. He does a face-to-face with Drew McIntyre. Then they eventually turn their sights to Miz and Morrison, attack them, spear, Claymore kick, and then you have the showdown in the middle. I thought it was solid of a promo from Drew McIntyre. You could feel his conviction, all that. Yeah. Miz and Morrison are annoying, so whatever. And you have Goldberg coming out, and all he did was hit a spear, and then he had the face off at the end. So I thought it was well done, to be honest with you. It was just all trying to sell the match at Royal Rumble. So was what it was. Yeah.
And Goldberg sweated after doing 2 minutes of just a spear. So it should be great matches this Sunday. Can't wait. It'll be real long.
Yeah, they were just hyping it up the entire time. So it's just a way to sell it. That's basically what it was. But I thought the segment was well done. Now, let's get to the next thing in the show, because this was a disaster. We had Charlotte Flair taking on Shayna Baszler. All right, so Charlotte Flair and Shayna Baszler are going at it. They're wrestling. They're having their match. Charlotte puts Shayna in the figure four. Then you have Nia Jax interfere. Then the beatdown ensues. You have Mandy Rose, Dana Brooke come to help Charlotte Flair. Then all of a sudden, it's a six-woman tag with Lacey Evans joining Shayna and Nia Jax. So we all know these brawls end up turning into matches immediately. Then, surprisingly, you have Baszler get counted out. It seemed to be all by mistake. And then, for some reason, the babyfaces are requesting a restart of the match, even though they won it by count out. I don't know. Here comes Adam Pearce, gives us the restart, and then Baszler, Jackson, Evans get the win. So a lot going on. I think it was a real botched area here where she didn't get in before the count of 10.
Yeah, I couldn't even imagine trying to write this down in the script and try to explain to the talent, hey, this is what you're gonna do today. What? Well, what did you just say? No one even knows what you said. Yeah. No one knows what they watched. It was awful. What are they doing? What are they doing at Raw? No one knows. They don't even know what they're doing. It's Vince Russo back?
Yeah, it was an absolute disaster. A bizarre segment, botched count out, and it's just a disaster. So let's move on from that, because later on you would see Lacey Evans in backstage with Ric Flair practicing some moves a la Triple H and Trish Stratus, kind of similar to that. And then here comes
raunchy, but yes.
Yeah, and here comes Charlotte interrupting that, getting in there and getting in Ric's face and talking trash to Ric and how she's disappointed in him and all that stuff like that. And she's the only one defending him now. Then she gets attacked by Lacey Evans, and Ric Flair leaves with Lacey Evans. So that storyline continues. Not to say that it's good, but it continues. Whatever happened to Peyton Royce and Lacey Evans as a tag team, I don't know. It's not there anymore. Next thing on the show, Xavier Woods taking on Slapjack, because Xavier Woods taking on the gambit of all members of of Retribution, but he does beat Slapjack. Of all people, he does beat Slapjack, because Slapjack seems to be the Joe Bear of the group, and takes all the losses. So they beat him down, and then they were, Mustafa Ali cut a promo on him, and basically Mustafa Ali announcing he's gonna be in the Royal Rumble.
But the fact that Mustafa Ali is bringing up a 2-year-old feud about Kofi's, run to being the champion.
Continuity there, yeah.
There's some continuity, but like, man, that's like just really random. And like 2 years later, and like, I guess we're supposed to care about this. Like, I don't know. And then why is he waiting until Kofi's hurt? Even they brought it up, the announcers, just because of how dumb it was.
Yeah.
And even the announcer to bring it up. It's just like,
yeah,
I don't
it's
know,
not
man.
like he's gonna he's gonna take it out on Xavier, I guess. For
yeah, like what, okay, good for you, Mustafa. Getting retribution on the wrong guy, but whatever. I don't know. It's just the fuck are they doing?
Yeah, it was a disaster. Next thing on the show was the Hurt Business outside in the VIP lounge in the ring. They were giving MVP a gift. Here comes R-Truth to kind of ruin this. He thinks that they're having the belated birthday party for him. Typical R-Truth comedy routine. Then here comes all the guys who are challenging for the 24/7 championship to attack him. Yep. Then you have Riddle taking his shots in there, and then that was pretty much all there was there. He hits a big knee strike on MVP, and that was pretty much it. Riddle escapes, and he has to run the gauntlet later on to get a chance at Bobby Lashley. So that's all there was here. Surprise, 24/7 championship still a thing. Next thing on the show we have Sheamus versus John Morrison. He beats John Morrison, and then it becomes a 2-on-1 handicap match with the Miz, and Miz and Morrison get the win here, and that was pretty much it. It's what it is. I don't know. I don't know where Keith. What I'm wondering is where Keith Lee is at. And all this.
Just going into and like, what does this help? This like back and forth, winning, losing in the same segment. Who is this helping?
I honestly thought they were gonna have Sheamus go over here and then just destroy Miz and Morrison even more, make Miz even more. Even more less viable than of a Money in the Bank holder. But it was a disaster.
I don't know. It's a mess.
Next thing on the show, we had R-Truth saying he was gonna be in the Royal Rumble to Adam Pearce, and you know what that means. As soon as you say that on Monday Night Raw, here comes AJ Styles, and you have to defend. You have to try to beat AJ Styles and make it into the Royal Rumble, and that continues with R-Truth versus AJ Styles. Styles gets the win. That's it. I don't know. Whatever.
This one was not gonna have anybody in it. It's gonna be AJ Styles.
Yeah, it's just gonna be AJ Styles and 5 other people, and that's pretty much it.
Because he's beating literally everybody on the roster. So whatever.
Yeah. Next thing on the show, we had Alexa's Playground. Interesting. It wasn't in the ring. It was backstage. Smart is the way they should do it in the backstage. It has a better feel. You can play with it. You can play with it more pre-recorded. Set the ambiance, so it makes it look better and come off more creepy. And it did work because she's cutting her promo, talking about all the stuff she's done to Randy Orton, and she's going after Asuka tonight for the Raw Women's Championship, what she did to Asuka last week with the transformation and the rocking horse moving by itself, all that stuff like that. So there was a good segment for Alexa Bliss. She did a tremendous job, continues to do good work, but it works better backstage. You could pre-tape it, make sure it perfect it, make sure it's nice and creepy, add a little bit of layers to it to make it as creepy as you want, all that stuff like that. She sings a song at the end, swings on the swing, and that's it. You get good stuff. So I thought this was all good stuff back in the backstage. Next thing on the show, Riddle runs the gauntlet. Here comes Riddle going through. I thought it was good stuff. Riddle beat Benjamin, then he beat MVP, and then he beat Cedric Alexander. So he will face Bobby Lashley eventually, I guess, at the Rumble for that U.S. Championship title. Right. So the only thing I can assume is that when they'll do it at the Rumble, I doubt they'll wait any longer than that. Now, big thing next. It was a surprise. Edge returned to Monday Night Raw. He cuts a promo, obviously not there, but in a ring that he has at home. If you've seen his 24, he has a WWE ring there at his house. He cuts his promo. Another tremendous promo from Edge. You feel everything the man says. You feel it. He's talking about everything that's happened to him, how he relinquished the title all those years ago, comes back and all that stuff like that. Torn triceps at Backlash against Randy Orton. Now he says he is coming back and he will be in the Rumble match. So we can't wait to see him, Orton, in the same ring. I'm surprised AJ didn't just try to stop him from being in the match too, since we're in that thing where you announce yourself on Raw, you're gonna get, and that didn't happen. So I don't know, guys. The booking's kind of off. I guess if you're a big enough star, you don't have to face AJ Styles to get into the Rumble because that's probably what it is.
So if you're a undercard, lower card, basically,
there's a pecking order there. Let's get into the Rumble.
Just want to clear that for a second.
Let's get into the main event. It was Asuka versus Alexa Bliss, a rematch from last week, but this time the Raw Women's Championship on the line, and Alexa Bliss transforms once again, and I thought this was going to be it. I thought Alexa Bliss was going to become Raw Women's Champion. I think it probably would have been the best thing to do, is just get that title off of Asuka, because it's a pointless run that she's had that hasn't really worked out and hasn't been booked well. Not on Asuka, it's on the booking. It's been terrible booking, but Randy Orton comes out with the reddest face you'll ever see, and this is takeaway number 1, and you see the picture behind us. That's Randy's burnt face. I guess they did a good job on the makeup because he looks somewhat burnt. And he hits the RKO on Alexa Bliss, and that's disqualification. Bliss gets the win via DQ, but she is not your Raw Women's Champion. champion. So this is only I can assume that I don't know. She's technically right now my favorite to win the Royal Rumble. It just seems that way. With all that the momentum she's gained and the transformations he's done. But this could be, we could see Alexa Bliss costing Randy Orton the Rumble as well. On the flip side of that, Bianca Belair is still in the mix, but I think it's a 2-woman run show right now between 2 women. It's a 2-woman race between Bianca Belair and Alexa Bliss. We'll see who comes out on top. But I thought they were gonna go with Bliss win the championship here, but not meant to be at this moment in time. Randy Orton makes his return. Gets his comeuppance on Alexa Bliss by showing off his face, and I'm kind of tight that he didn't wear the mask because I was starting to get a good chuckle out of that mask. Yeah.
I think you got hate from the WWE universe. So we're just
Probably,
we can't do that. We can't have that anymore. So that was a mistake. But I thought it was a good segment. There was fun. I'm liking the whole she's changing characters. As the match is going, we see old Alexa Bliss, we see now Alexa Bliss, and we see crazy Harley Quinn.
Yep.
Alexa Bliss. So I thought that was cool. That was fun. It really felt like she was gonna win it there. It felt good. But then it was also, I kind of like the fact that Randy came in and got his payback and all right, bitch, there you go. You burn my face, I burn you in the match, and you're not champion. So we'll see going into the Royal Rumble. Like you said, I would love for Alexa to win. I think maybe the Fiend might help her, or the Fiend's gonna ruin something for Randy. I mean, that's not done. There's gonna be something revolving there. I mean, that's one of the more exciting things going into the Rumble. We're just what's gonna happen between these 3 guys, well, Alexa Bliss, Fiend, and Randy. How's that connection gonna go in the Rumble matches? Because it's gonna. I mean, they've been building a storyline up. The Fiend hasn't been seen for over a month. It's time he comes back from this fiery grave. But yeah, I mean, crappy Raw, another crappy Raw, a trash, just complete garbage Raw. But the ending was fun. I enjoyed the ending. Good job with the ending.
Yeah, I'm calling it now. The Fiend will appear in the Royal Rumble as one of the entrants. You hear the buzzer, the lights will turn off, turn back on. He's already in the ring. I'm calling it right now that they're gonna go with that. That's our takeaway from Monday Night Raw. That's all we got for you guys from Monday Night Raw. Terrible show. But let's get into some news and rumors. Let's start off with a big announcement. WWE Network going to Peacock, which is NBC's streaming service. They got the exclusive rights, $1 billion deal, massive deal there. So now to get all your WWE stuff, you have to go to Peacock streaming service and work there, but it is cheaper. Peacock is a $5 service rather than a $10 service at WWE Network. I'm pretty sure they're going to keep the same price point on that, so you get it for cheaper and you get other stuff involved. I just hope it's not cumbersome to get through the menu system and you get to the WWE Network and get wherever you got to go.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I could hope from there. So that's big time news, big time stuff. Watch that WWE stock and maybe rising a little bit because of this big move. It happens mid-March, so we'll see what goes on with that. WWE Network officially exclusively in the United States going to Peacock TV streaming service NBC. Now this is interesting though, what happens with NXT, because NBC Universal is dropping NBC Sports, and that mainly just covers the NHL for the most part, and they're getting rid of that and some soccer, I think. So they're getting rid of that. USA Network is part of NBC Universal. It's the same kind of umbrella. Do they move NXT to NBC on a primetime Wednesday or another day? It depends on what their schedule looks like in terms of sitcoms and stuff like that. Yeah. I
mean, we'll see. Wednesday on NBC, that's like a sitcom. They're probably bringing more viewership than NXT is.
Yep.
They're on their 1 million. I'm sure some of the shows are doing 1 million plus. So I don't think that makes sense. I think they'll keep it on USA. But it's definitely intriguing to see how the WWE Network's evolved from, they have a free one, now they're going to Peacock. Peacock's free if you got Xfinity too, so it's free for me.
That's true.
But so it's it's there. It's interesting. We're gonna see how it works. Hopefully it doesn't mess up the experience of the network. That's kind of what I'm hoping they don't mess up. But for $1 billion, you kind of got to do it. So it is what it is.
I could see what happening, them being partnered with NBC now, making they were talking about a luchador based another show, luchador based, Hispanic, lucha libre based, that can be put on Telemundo now because it's part of the NBC Universal umbrella, as they have USA. So we could see that, but that's going on that with the WWE Network. Stay tuned for that. Now we have a musical performance announced for Royal Rumble, and
which is a first, I think.
Yeah, it is none other than Bad Bunny, El Conejo Malo. He is performing, and he performed the Booker T song that he came out with just recently. So we'll see that.
Is Booker gonna come out and do his dance or what?
Yeah, I hope he does the spin Rooney and all that stuff like that. Yeah. But he's part of the pre-panel show, I believe, so you'll see him eventually there. But there's a musical guest. Bad Bunny, big wrestling fan, done the Ric Flair stuff before, Ric Flair video, Chambea. So now he's gonna do his Booker T song at the Royal Rumble. It's an interesting choice to to do that like with like an empty arena, but we'll see what happens with that going forward. But a big time announcement there. So that's pretty much all there is to talk about that. Bad Bunny going to be at Royal Rumble performing. Let's see if he gets physical. That'd be kind of interesting.
But I mean, he might, seeing as AJ's beating everybody, so it's not gonna be maybe Bad Bunny surprise contestant. Maybe he's number 30.
Yeah,
comes
and
out.
catches a phenomenal forum and.
Be nice.
Yeah,
we should do it.
All right, let's get to the final bit of news. Triple H talks about Brock Lesnar's WWE return. He had an interview. He was very coy about addressing when he addressed the possibility of Brock returning. I quote, "One of the things I've learned about Brock Lesnar, about him, is Brock Lesnar does what Brock Lesnar wants to do. Obviously, we all know that. Nobody can talk him into doing things differently. So time will tell. If he wants to show up at Mania, he will. If he doesn't, he won't. The only way to get the answer is to call Brock Lesnar." So not ton of information there, but the fact that he said it that way, I think he's returning for WrestleMania, because WrestleMania being 2 nights, they need headliners, 4 headliners in total, probably for the both nights. So I do see him returning soon.
Yeah, I could see Brock and Roman, like we were talking about the whole Heyman connection, like that'd be interesting. But again, Brock can do what he wants to do. If the money's right, if he feels like coming from his, I mean, he lives in a farm in the middle of nowhere, Canada. So it's just like, he just does what he wants to do. If he wants to leave and come here and have a match at Mania, then do it. If he's not, then he's good where he is. He made a bunch of money, so we'll see what happens. But that little Heyman, Roman, Brock connection, that could be interesting. That could be a fun little thing. Maybe that gets Brock excited to come back, working with Heyman, working with Reigns. He's comfortable with Reigns. They wrestled before. I mean, this will be a new little wrinkle to the whole rivalry that they've had for the last few years. So it's definitely intriguing. I mean, like, I don't want to see him versus Drew again. I don't think we need to see that again. I don't really think that's that interesting. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. It's whatever Brock wants to do. Who knows? But Brock could change his mind the day before WrestleMania, say he wants to be there, and I'm sure Vince will have on a plane right there to they'll figure something out.
True story on that, yeah. But guys, that's the news we have for you. A little bit of Brock Lesnar, Bad Bunny news, and WB Network news. So appreciate you guys for tuning in. Remember to like, subscribe, and also comment on us what you guys think of all this stuff going on. And if you're Bad Bunny fans, are you guys excited about it, or are you guys kind of like whatever's about it? So let us know what you guys think in the comment section below. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. That's our one takeaway and our news for this Monday night. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. And if it doesn't work, bro, do not do your job.
Hit marks.